So our mom is a nurse, and she's has 7 kids. We're one of 7, Patty and myself. She worked all her life in nursing, and in her extended later years, she was in assisted living and independent living. She became a nurse within those facilities.
She was very adamant on not being placed in an assisted living place because of her 15 years at a facility. So we really had to be diligent about the style, the look, the feel of the facility, that it was nothing that she was familiar with, because it was a very stark and sterile environment that she worked at. So that was our challenge, and it broke our hearts every single time.
Well, we did visit a lot of different facilities or communities in the area. And we started out with Meadowbrook, as a matter of fact, and that was the first one. And the young man who was talking to us, he said, "I think you'll be back." And so we took notes and had all of our notes written out in comparison. And we visited probably, I would say 8 different places. But every time we'd walk into these other places, they were just kind of dark, and the hallways were narrow, and you just didn't have a warm feeling. So we went back to Meadowbrook and walked in again and toured it one more time, and we thought, this will be home for her.
Koelsch feels like you're more at home. When you walk in, you feel like you're walking into someone's home. It feels good. It feels warm. It looks warm, the appearance is great.
It's definitely a process, and we start at Koelsch, we start that process with our initial inquiries and move-ins, and we try to get a lot of information about the people that we're caring for prior to that admit date. So although it is always kind of a adjustment, there's things that we don't expect that may happen or come up, but we're pretty prepared before it even happens. Our memory care communities have shadow boxes that have information about our residents' life story and their history that we can see at a glance. So every time we have an interaction with that person, we can utilize that information.
The doorbell rang, and I remember thinking, this is a solicitor, and they came in and told me who they were and what they were doing
like,
Maple Glen. We're new to the community. We just wanted to introduce ourselves. I thought, oh my gosh, this is, not only was it perfect timing, but they had a way about them to to basically calm us that it's going to be okay, and we're just going to hold your hand through the process. And it felt like, to me, and I think Patty
like our best friend, like we were talking to
we
our
were
best
coming
friend.
home, that they took it very personal like we did.
Well, I'll tell you, when we first moved her in, we were real concerned. She was 96 when we moved her in, and we thought, what's going to happen? Is she going to adapt real well? We went up there the next day, and she looked like she had been there forever. She just adapted so easily. It was just really remarkable that we were all so impressed, and she knew her room and her room number, and it was like home.
What surprised me was the fact that she treated it like it was like her home.
Yeah.
And we were like, oh my gosh, she's never going to find her place, and how is she going to figure out which room is hers?
Right.
And, it was such an easy fix. Just throw up something green on her door, and then she knew to look for something green. It was so easy.
We underestimated.
Yeah, we really underestimated the transition.
Well, if we're home or we're away, and we'll get a call from them if they need to tell us something about my mother-in-law. They'll always call us and say, she's needs this or that, and just very attentive to her. And of course, when we go there, the staff is very warm and loving, and we see them loving on these patients too. Makes you feel good.
I would absolutely wholeheartedly recommend Maple Glen. It solved everything, in terms of our fears, and answered questions. Carolyn, and I cannot say enough about her as an executive director and as a friend. There's been multiple times that I've been there that I've just kind of shut down on, during those early months. It was tough, and she's just, the community in general has just made it a really amazing place for our mom.
Everybody is so incredibly nice, and
cares.
They know. Oh yeah, your mom really likes this particular dessert, and they just know. They just know everybody, and it's nice to know that they're not just a number.
Everything that they had there was just very welcoming, and
the piano, it's the baby grand piano. We had sing-alongs in there, and it was just like
the old cars.
It was like being in the family room.
Yeah,
it was really nice.
It was nice.